Hello Self-Perfecter. So now that we have our code properly configured and installed on AWS Lambda, so now we're going to create an API gateway so the whole world can access our project in a completely serverless manner. So let's search for API gateway. We go here and then we choose to create a REST API. Let's click on build. And then we're going to create a new API. I'm going to call it image handler. I'm going to say this is project to generate images. You can put whatever you want here, or just keep it empty if you prefer. Then let's click to create API. Great, so now we have a basic API gateway project. I'm gonna create a new resource. I'm gonna call it QR code. This is the HTTP route for accessing our project. Let's create resource. And then I'm gonna create a new method, which is going to be a post method. Click here. And then it's going to connect with the Lambda function, which is, you copy the ARN for this function, and then you paste it here. We're going to use Lambda proxy integration, which is the basic way to connect API gateway with Lambda function. So for proxy integration, basically means that we're not going to map the input and the output. We're just going to pass straightforwardly the content from the API gateway to the Lambda function, and from the Lambda function to the API gateway. Let's click to save. Yes, let's give the permissions to API gateway to connect and invoke the Lambda function. Okay, great. So now we need to make some changes in the code because the object that API gateway sends to the Lambda is slightly different than the one that we used before for testing our code, specifically the event object. So if we put, for example, let's print the event again, and then we deploy it. So previously we created a test event, which is the event 1. So we can see that we basically are sending a JSON object with an attribute with a key called message, and the value in our case, our test case, is value 1. So if we call test, we can see our basic object here, our test event object here. But the object that we're going to send from API gateway will be slightly different, so we have to make the code changes to be compatible with this. So if we do, for example, here we are integrated with this Lambda function, and then if we call the test method, and then we pass, for example, the same thing in the body message. I'm gonna say, for example, message to be encoded as QR code image. This is going to be the message that's going to be encoded as a QR code, and then we click to test. You will see that the code will fail, and we can see some information here, but I like to see it using monitor and then seeing the logs on CloudWatch. So if you click on CloudWatch and then we go to the latest event, which is this one, so in this case is this last call here. This is the object that API gateway sent to our Lambda function. You see that there is no message attribute here because that's the structure. So the actual message in our case is this body, which is a string that encodes an object. So what we need to do here to access this, we need to come in our code, and first of all I'm gonna say that the message, the body, as a string because API gateway is sending it as a string. So in our case, it's going to be actually body. So this is a string, and then we need to decode the string to be a JSON object. We can do this by using the JSON library, which is already ported here. JSON.load_s. Then we pass the body string. So what is this doing? We are converting the object, the JSON object, which was sent as a string, to an actual JSON. And then once we do this, we need to access this message attribute. So this function, JSON.load, is returning JSON, and then we access the message attribute, this attribute here. Okay, great. Then we redeploy it, so the body string, and then we take it and then we load as a JSON object, then we extract the actual message, and then the message we pass to the function as we did before. Now if we call the code here, test, you see that we are actually returning the image as a base64 string. It seems like a random string, but this is the actual image encoded as a base64. But in order to use this to return a binary message, we need to make some configuration in the API gateway. So first of all, we go here into settings, we scroll down to the binary media types, then we add a new media type. The easiest way to do this is by asterisks /*. Basically, you put this in the binary media type, and then we save the changes. Okay, click here to be sure. Now I'm going to deploy this method. I'm going to deploy this API. I'm going to create a new stage. I'm going to call it prod, and then click to deploy it. Perfect. So this is our API gateway URL, but we still need to make some changes in the code. First of all, we need to pass this command. I'm going to open a text editor. We need to pass this command to API gateway. In order to do this, you must have AWS CLI properly installed on your machine, which is my case here, AWS -- version. So I already have AWS CLI properly installed. So we need to pass this command, API gateway, and then we update the integration response. Here you pass the REST API ID and the resource ID. So how we can see this information? So the first attribute that we need to pass, which is the REST API ID, is this random string here. We pass it into this part, REST API ID, and then the resource ID we pass, which is this random string here into /QR code, and then this random string we pass it here, and then we copy this and we paste it in the terminal. Perfect. So that's the first thing that we need to do, and then we need to run the second command. So again, we need to pass the REST API ID to update the REST API. So in this case, we just need to pass the first random string, pass it here, and then we paste it here. Perfect. So now our API gateway is properly configured to return the images as a binary data. But once we do this, you'll see that it's not going to work. We still need to do some small change in our code to allow it to work. So we go back to the stages, to prod, and we copy this URL. I'm going to open up Postman. Okay, great. So I'm going to paste it here. If you remember well, we decided that the URL for the route for this function is /QR code. So prod slash QR code. And then we're gonna send a post message. And then the body is a JSON. The attribute that we define is message. And then we send, for example, hello self, refactor. But once we do this, let's try it out to see what's gonna happen. You see that the code fails because we still need to make some small change in our code to allow it to work. So if we come back to the project and to our CloudWatch groups and we see the last message, you will see that now our body is a base64 string. So what we need to do, we need to decode this base64 string in our code. And how we can do this? So now this body is a base64. I'm gonna say, for example, body string base64. And now we need to decode this to be a regular string. We can do this way. Now the body string will be a base64 dot base64 decode, and then we pass the base64 string. Okay, great. So now the base64 string will be decoded to a traditional string, and then we'll do just like we did before. We load the string as a traditional JSON or Python dictionary, and then we extract the message attribute, and then we run the function as we did before. Let's save it, redeploy. Then we go back to Postman and then send it again. So perfect. Now we have a QR code generator completely serverless, running on API gateway, Lambda function, using a Python code. So I hope you liked it, and I see you next time.